The soul of music is dying. We hear it every day in the hollow echoes of the digital age. We look back at the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s as the golden era of truth, a time when music was organic, when it was human, and when it was clean. We want to protect that purity from the encroaching tide of artificial intelligence, which critics dismiss as nothing more than fake, synthetic slop. We want art to be honest. We want it to be real. But if we are going to demand honesty, then we must be brave enough to look at our idols through that same lens. Because the truth is, the clean music you worship was born in a laboratory of manipulation. You praise the natural sound of the great rock anthems, but they were recorded on multi-track machines. A human being cannot sing 3 harmonies at once. A band does not naturally sound like a wall of sound layered 40 times over. That isn't a live performance, it is a construction. It is a Frankenstein's monster of sound, stitched together piece by piece to create an illusion that never existed in reality. You hate the fakery of the digital age, yet you celebrate the dual vocal takes of the 70s. Let's call that what it really was, a poor man's autotune. Producers layered voices to mask, pitch instability and thin delivery, using studio tricks to average out a singer's flaws into a polished lie. You claim to hate the synthetic, yet you bow down to the synthesizer, an instrument that literally put its faked nature in its own name. Every mixing engineer is a manipulator. Every mastering engineer is an architect of artificiality, pushing volumes and altering frequencies to force a response from your brain that the raw recording could never achieve. If AI music is slop because it is processed, then every record in your collection is a banquet of filth. And then there is the demand for labeling. The cry that we must mark AI art so the public isn't fooled. Since when did art become a documentary? Art is not a sworn affidavit. Art is a beautiful, necessary fiction. When you watch Star Wars, do you demand a label on the screen warning you that Darth Vader isn't a real person? Do you walk out of the theater in a rage because X-Wings don't actually make noise in the vacuum of space? Of course not. Because we understand that art has the right to lie in order to tell a deeper emotional truth. To demand that we label art based on the tools used to create it is not just a misunderstanding of creativity. It is a dangerous step toward the dark side of history. When we start demanding that impure or non-human works be branded with a warning, we are walking the same path as those who burned books and forced people to wear stars on their sleeves to identify them as other. It is the impulse of the censor and the gatekeeper. It is the death of expression. Art does not owe you honesty. It owes you nothing but the feeling it evokes. Whether a melody was birthed by a lone guitarist in a garage or generated by a complex algorithm, the only thing that matters is the emotional resonance it leaves in your soul. Stop hiding behind the hollow shield of authenticity and admit that your fear isn't about the art. It's about the change. Art is, and has always been, the ultimate manipulation. It's time we stopped pretending otherwise.